This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
Hello, my name is Atty. Welcome to our program. Our topic for this program, for this show specifically, is a year in review. What exactly do we review? Is it the new year? Nope, nope, nope. Basically, by July, by the end of this month, we will have the SONA. We will expect the President to give us a review of what exactly has gone on for over the year. Sadly, Congress, having passed only 4 bills or 4 basic laws, it's really in a sad state. Now, when it comes to the Supreme Court, well, welcome to the confusion is all I can say. When it comes to the President, now there are many people that go back and forth. Well, popular demand or popular perception has it, based on surveys, that he remains to be very, very popular. If you've seen that YouTube with Trillanes in BBC with Stephen Sakur, well, it's obvious many of the opposition have gone wayward, or what the palace, Malacanang Palace says out of tune. Now, with us, we have Citizen Bono. He has been on the show many, many times, Homobono, Adaza. He has been with government for the past 5 decades. He has worked with multiple presidents. He has been in the in and he's been in the out. He's been the opposition as well as together with the executive. He has been with the legislative as well. He was governor once and congressman. And today he prefers to have the title Citizen Bono. Hello, Citizen Bono. Kamusta? And thank you for being on the show.
Harry, it's always a pleasure to be with you here.
Buti nahuli kita, nasa Manila ka ngayon. You're
Yeah,
not in Cagayan de
I
Oro
was in
or
Cagayan de
something.
Oro. I've been in Cagayan de Oro for 2 occasions since martial law was declared. One of my favorite subjects, considering that I was imprisoned by Marcos during martial law for 1 year, 6 months, and 11 days. But I don't grudge.
Why?
Marcos
Why do you
for-
not begrudge? Because that's halos personal yun. Your incarceration. I mean, gee,
No, but my politics has never been
personal.
personal. It's always been principles, vision, programs. And in the case of Marcos, we tangled on many areas, even in Malacanang when I was governor.
You told me. In your books, it says that you would sit and just have conversation.
Outside of the books, outside of Malacanang, I tangled with him in the international press. No? So it's never personal with me. Even with the president, some people say I'm anti-Duterte. Absolutely no. They don't know me.
Yeah,
they don't
they
know
don't
my
know you.
politics.
Yes, yes.
My politics has never been personal.
Let me ask you a question. I posted on Facebook just this morning, and I'm not sure I'm getting enough responses or if people really understand the question. Do you regard yourself, for example, Citizen Bono, as a liberal Democrat, or should the state come first?
No. Most of the time, I'm a liberal Democrat in the sense of
Freedoms.
being Jeffersonian, Lincolnian, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy. No?
Democrat ka talaga.
I'm a perfect Democrat in American politics. I'm really a Democrat. If I were to register as a voter there.
You would
But
be a-
incidentally, in the last election, I did not vote Democrat if I were a voter. I voted for Trump.
Trump.
I like Trump.
That's what my next question is. It seems liberal democracy is failing not only in America, but even in Europe. Is it the immigration? Is it the migration of the Arab problem, the Arab Spring?
No, liberal democracy is good only for well-developed economies and well-educated citizenry.
Yun, the educated citizenry.
That's necessary already. It evolves, to that level. But in developing countries like the Philippines, there's got to be a period where liberal democracy has to take a back seat. Because you will not be able to achieve things if you operate within the conceptual liberal democratic concepts.
Which is the same all over the ASEAN. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
For the last 40 years, 50 years.
All over the ASEAN, we're trying to imitate the United States of America. But while it's true that the fundamentals are applicable even in developing countries, but democracy is like a stairway. Below the steps in the stairway, that is not democracy. Above also certain steps, that's beyond democracy also. In a democracy, you observe the fundamentals, the concepts, but taking into consideration the concepts, you observe like freedom. When you have freedom, you have also responsibilities.
Correct.
As an Irishman went to New York one time and was waving his arms, and he hit the nose of an American. And the American was protesting, hey.
Why'd you hit my nose?
He said, is this not the land of the free? Yes, your freedom ends where my nose begins. That's the point. No. Here in this country, we are so licentious in many ways. As a matter of fact, one of the attractions of the president to me at the beginning was the concept of a revolutionary government. I really was in favor of a revolutionary government then.
I remember, yes.
Now.
Until now.
I have not changed my mind there. In my latest column in Facebook, I lay down the steps for what I term as a constitutional democracy. Because the problem in this country, we're likely to identify violence immediately with revolution. There are revolutionary changes without violence. Revolutionary changes in the level of the mind, which is translated into constitutional
terms. But shouldn't that start with education, first and foremost?
Yeah, it starts with education. But if you start with education without a revolutionary government, you will undertake a long process. It's a long evolutionary
Mahina
process.
20 years.
Yes.
Mahina isang generation.
Mahina isang generation. A revolutionary government can be framed within the timeline of 6 years.
But it has to initiate first. That's the prime
you have
mover.
to initiate it because in this country you have to introduce free education from elementary to the university level. If you really want to go beyond the revolutionary period, and then open the opportunities for a constitutional government.
Correct.
But without a 6-year period of a revolutionary government, we are going to have problems.
Without initiating it, there is no prime mover.
There is no prime mover. And besides, like now, as you said, Congress has not even, has only passed about four legislations.
Sadly, I don't know how they're going to stand up to the sun. Nakakaawa.
That's precisely. And the other institution of government do not also function
properly.
Yes. That's properly.
The judiciary.
For instance, I'll just say to you, I am infused with major policies of government. I have no disagreement with policies like revolutionary government, like parliamentary system, like federal system. Those were my concepts when I was at the University of the
Philippines. I know you're pro-federalism. We've talked about that.
Yeah, I was a kid here.
Yes.
I'm also anti-illegal drugs.
Of course.
But I'm for free medicine, medical attention, and hospitalization for the poor and the middle class.
So the liberal democracy in Europe is coupled or complement with socialized education and medicine.
Yes, precisely.
That's the perfect scenario, the perfect partnership.
The perfect partnership is demonstrated in the Scandinavian countries. There's really merger between elements of social democracy and what the Americans consider as pariah in the United States of America, the social elements.
Yes.
The social elements. But you have to have a mix
You
of
have
the
to mix.
political and the social elements. Otherwise, if you don't have that kind of mix, you'll have tremendous problems.
Which is what they're having now.
What they're having now in the United
Yes.
States. And as you've been saying, you know, the problem in the country, policies of government are great, no? I have no disagreement with President Duterte in policies of government. But as I'm rereading a book, no, written by the Heritage editors, you know, or American Heritage editors on the life and death of Robert Kennedy.
Oh.
Robert Kennedy, I identify myself with
The younger
Robert
brother.
Kennedy and John F. Kennedy. You know, we are friends on the level of the heart and of the mind because they're very powerful and passionate.
Passionate.
On things that really matter. On things that really matter. Here, the presidential problems after a year now, no, is really policy implementation. And as this book states, there is a difference between the president. The president is only one person.
And the policy.
But the presidency is a myriad of persons. Like, for instance,
good point of view.
Very
Yes,
good
yes.
point. Like, in the case of John Kennedy and Franklin Delano Roosevelt, they got the best and the brightest of the Americans, irrespective of their politics. They are Republicans, Democrats.
Yes.
And it was a very beautiful mix in the cabinet. We even saw the fights in the cabinet of Kennedy and even of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, even with the speechwriters, and more pronounced even with Lyndon Johnson because his Attorney General was.
Do you see
arm
that that's
in
a
arms
problem
against-
here with the Duterte cabinet? I mean,
No.
this is based on classmates,
Yeah,
kaibigan.
that is the problem.
Yeah.
As
Parang ano?
I've been stating it from the beginning. The president has not departed from the KKK of Pinoy.
Of Pinoy.
Pinoy is a very bad example as a president.
Yes.
He's one of the worst
Yes.
in the history of this country.
I agree with you.
And in the selection of members of the cabinet, that's a mistake on the part of the president. I'm hoping, especially because he comes from Davao City, no, comes from Mindanao. It's in the Mindanao heartland. And I'm concerned with the performance of his presidency because if he does not perform well, or the presidency
Yes.
does not perform well, it will affect us Mindanaoans.
Oh nga, no, I never saw it the other way around.
Yeah, and he might be the last president coming from Mindanao by reason of performance. But it's not too late in the day to make changes. Like, as I said, the policies are excellent.
Yes.
Very excellent
But
policies.
the first people that he have chosen, may pagka-problema. For example, the San Beda group.
Yeah, they are a
Masyado-
problem.
They're a
They really
problem.
are a problem.
Puro San Beda group eh.
They are a problem. And I don't like to go into specifics. You know, I don't like to go personal. But they are a problem.
Before we go into a break, which is in about another 3 minutes pa naman, how do you identify a year in review? How would you promote or demote the president, Digong?
Well, as I said, policy-wise, excellent.
Okay.
Maybe the grade of the president on the policy point of view is about 90.
Okay.
Yeah, it's about 90.
Then let's go to the other side, the person,
The
admin.
no, the myriad personalities.
Okay.
I'm afraid the whole government, they'll have a failing mark. Why? Policy implementation. For instance, I'll just cite specific instances.
Okay.
In the illegal drug issue. In the illegal drug issue, the president has defined the policies.
Very clearly.
Very clear. But the implementation of the policies are bad. Pretty bad.
So you're talking the PNP.
PNP and
De La Rosa, of course.
De La Rosa and Secretary of Justice. Secretary of Justice.
Aguirre.
Because, you know, the Secretary of Justice should be able to be doing these things hand in hand with De La Rosa.
Ayun, not
Because
separately. Tama nga naman. ano?
Implementation of laws ito eh. And if the erroneous implementation of the law by a certain agency of government, though it's under the Department of
Justice.
no, the one is Department of Local Government. It's
DILG.
under local government. But the laws that they are implementing is within the purview of the Department of Justice. So,
Okay,
you know,
tama nga
he
naman,
should call the
yes.
attention of the Secretary of Justice, the Secretary of Justice should call the attention of De La Rosa I'm the secretary of the DILG.
Oh, the
Hey,
ILG.
you're going haywire here.
Well, we just lost Sueño.
Yeah, Sueño.
We brought in a new guy who's sitting in, who's being quiet for now.
He's Año.
Anya, yeah.
Año. But
General, di ba?
you know, but the problem with having generals, in civilian positions is the period of adjustment. I'll just tell you a very specific instance. When the generals were planning a coup, in '89 specifically,
Cory's time.
Cory's time, and I was their lawyer. I was in consulta with them. You know, General Abinina was chairman of the National Governing Council, the
Okay.
shadow government. No, he was telling me, pare, because he was my client and he's a friend, very good friend.
He's in your book. Benina's in your book.
Pare, when this thing will succeed, I hope you can take over because I don't know how to govern the country. I don't have the experience. I'm still trying to govern the country. I can do this to pave the way for a new government. But to govern the country effectively, immediately, you need a civilian personality.
In other words,
here.
don't get an engineer to do a heart surgery.
Precisely, that's the point. There are exceptions, however. There are exceptions, Harry, in respect to being in the cabinet. I know a man who was my client, who was my friend, brilliant lawyer, pretty good speaker, and without him, Marcos would never have been president. Secretary Antonio Raquisa of the Department of Public
Raquisa.
Works and Highways. He was a lawyer,
Abogado pala yun, pero
but he was one of the best.
Engineering,
He management.
DPWH.
The skills are
management
terrific.
skills ang kailangan sa
Yeah.
DPWH. Plus, may technical din kailangan.
Oh, technical. He knows how to get the correct technical people. Like President Kennedy knew how to choose who would be Secretary of National Defense, who should be his Attorney General. He has in mind
And they
a
need
concept.
not be friends
Yes.
or affiliates.
They don't
but
have to be.
It's basic competence.
Yes. One is from Harvard, another one is from Yale. These are
But the problem
competing
is,
universities.
with all the many politicos we've had that have been reshuffled over the many administrations, especially from the cabinet down, the integrity of some seem to waver, or is it just public perception that has gone bad?
Well, in many instances, not just this government, in many instances, there's really something faulty in the recruitment of people.
Attention PMS.
Yes, maybe one of the best cabinet is that of Marcos.
He really took the best.
He really took the best.
Regardless, kaibigan niya o hindi.
Oh, yes, regardless. As a matter of fact, the guy was trying to convince me, conscript me into government, but maybe I was wrong because I was paying more particular attention to my integrity, my reputation, instead of thinking of the country. I was thinking, what will people say if I join Marcos? They might think that
But he
I
did
sold
have the
out.
best and the brightest.
He had the best and the brightest during his time. I really believe so.
Citizen Bono, we're going to have to take a short break. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come back, gagawin natin yung suma total na. Pagdating niyan, we had to take a break to understand exactly what are the parameters before you just come out and say, this is it, this is that, and this is the grading point, and that is whatever. To understand holistically the whole, to be able to identify so that at least a proper measurement can be made. After all, everyone in his own right mind, so to seem, at least in all the major dailies, seem to come up with some kind of measurement for the president. Does it matter? Will it matter? Anyway, stay with us. We'll be right back with Homobono and Adaza.